Hi, everyone. We are so honored today to be able to have an interview with Mr. Daniel Koh, CFO of SGX Group. He's an accomplished global leader in the banking and financial industry with 3-decade-long track record in the financial and banking industry globally and also in Singapore. So today we wish to find out more about Singapore, SGX Singapore Stock Exchange, as well as the future development plans of SGX through this interview. Shall I call you, will you prefer me to call you Daniel or Mr. Koh?
Daniel is good. Thank you.
Okay, Daniel, nice to have you in our interview. So my first question is, SGX Group just announced record financial results for 2025 financial year. Please tell us more about what is driving the exchange volume and growth.
Thank you, Lewis, and thank you for the opportunity for me to speak to you and your large following. Yes, we had a record FY25, as you mentioned. Net revenue up 12%, adjusted NPAT up 16%, and dividends are also up. Fourth quarter dividend up 16.7%. So a very strong set of results. I would say it's down to three drivers, right? Firstly, we have a multi-asset platform. So SGX Group is not just the stock exchange. We do offer a lot more, right? And all our engines were firing in FY25. So the stock market that we refer to, the SGX stock market, that one grew. Volumes were up. SDAV was up 27%. And we had the growth outpacing our ASEAN peers. And the trading and clearing fees were up 32%. So, a very, very strong set from the stock market, stock exchange. But that only constitutes 30% of all of SGX revenue for FY25, right? So what are the other segments? We have the equity derivatives market. That one, net revenue was up 14%, right? So the increases were coming, from India and mainly China, right? Where we have the FTSE China A50, and we have continued to gain market share there. The equity derivatives part of our income forms 27%. Then we also have the FICC, or the currencies and commodities part of our business. That forms 25% of our total business. So here again, we saw tremendous growth from the FX derivatives perspectives. Volumes are up over 50%, right? And we also have a commodities offering. There's a wide range of products there in iron ore. We have rubber, we have freight, petrochemicals, dairy. Again, that one saw a double-digit increase in trading and clearing fees. And finally, we have a last component, what we call platform and others. That's really the data and connectivity business. It's more annuity-based. So, steadier, but also we saw growth in the mid-single-digit range. And that constitutes 18% of our SGX business. So just to repeat, it's the multi-asset part that all engines are firing. That was one driver. The second driver, I'll say, was the Pan-Asia aspect of SGX, right? As you know, our platform allows clients to access not just Singapore, but all through the main centers within Asia. It's not that easy for international clients to gain access to some parts of Asia. So SGX offers that one-stop shop to manage exposures across India, Taiwan, China, Japan, Korea, and so forth, right? So, our aim is to capture whatever the flavor of the season is as investors move across the various countries across Asia. And finally, the last reason why growth increased is really the macro environment, right? The geopolitical risk, trade tariffs, the tweets in the middle of the night, they all increased volatility and the desire for our clients to hedge. So, as an example, what we call the T+1 volumes, that means volumes that take place after the market close. That was 1 in 5 of our trades in FY25 took took place in the T+1 time zone. That shows the global nature of our business and also more activity in the Western time zone.
So I presume SGX shareholders would be quite happy with the financial results. And in view of the headwinds, then Daniel just mentioned, and also the volatility. But we noticed that the Singapore stock market has been on a positive momentum. Do you think the efforts by the MAS Equities Market Review Group can sustain this momentum and improve liquidity further?
Yeah, we think so. The market is quite a lot more vibrant now, right? So, the SDAV, the Securities Daily Average value in 2025 was up 27% year on year. But again, in July, and we release our stats every month, that was up again another 27% year on year, right, to 1.47 billion. The STI is hovering around the all-time highs of 4,200. We see a lot more investor interest, Louis, both institutional and retail. When it comes down to it, right, Singapore, with resilient domestic growth, sound economic fundamentals, strong currency, all these are resonating well with the investors. So we are seeing a lot more interest also in the small and mid caps. There have been a lot of interest in the index stocks, and rightly so. But more recently, we're seeing a lot more interest in the small and mid cap stocks, right? An example is a US-based ETF has taken a position in 30 SGX listed small caps. So the hope is that we are going into a virtuous cycle where you have more investor interest and stronger IPO pipeline.
Okay, you mentioned stronger IPO pipeline. So we'd like to know what are the advantages of for mainland China and Hong Kong companies listing on SGX against the current backdrop of the global tariff war. And regarding the consultation conducted by the MAS in May, seeking feedback on proposals to streamline prospectus requirements and simplifying the process for secondary listings, how will these measures facilitate the listing and development of foreign companies in Singapore?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, right? Look, I think SGX has been a trusted partner and gateway for Chinese companies going global, and we are seeing more a growing interest from Chinese companies precisely for that point, like looking to expand their global footprint. From a secondary listings perspective, I would say that we already have an established framework for Chinese companies looking to expand their investor base, especially if you're a Chinese company that is active in Southeast Asia, right? So you can tap international capital via SGX. The MAS is welcoming of eligible Chinese companies, and in line with the CSRC's policy of supporting Chinese companies gaining international access, we're all working together there. The listing process, while it has been efficient and transparent, I think we're still working to streamline further. We're looking to streamline the prospectus requirements for primary listings, but also to simplify the process for secondary listings. We're looking to move to a more disclosure-based regime, so that will be more market-driven, and the aim really is to shorten the time to market. The Equity Markets Review Group that you mentioned, look, that is the power of private and public sectors coming together to enhance Singapore's value proposition as a financial hub for capital raising. Right? I mean, we've seen some examples. I think NEO listed in 2022. They're going to launch the first car in Singapore in Q1 of 2026, right? So it's the first Southeast Asia market in which they're going to do so. Hong Kong listed China Medical Systems will use Singapore as a base to expand across Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And I think a Hong Kong-based PC partner does plan to use Singapore as its new headquarters.
SGX said that you have about 30 IPOs in the pipeline. That's quite a lot. What kind of companies are in this pipeline, and what challenges does SGX face in attracting high quality and high growth companies, especially local and international companies in Southeast Asia, to go public in Singapore? Furthermore, can new initiatives such as the special purpose acquisition company SPAC framework and dual class equity structure help enhance its attractiveness? And one more question is how to improve secondary market liquidity.
Right. Yeah. No, Louis, we've been getting a lot of questions about that 30 number since we mentioned it. I think the reality is the market momentum is building, right? The macro environment is conducive. We have a stable to falling interest rate environment, and we have increased appetite from investors, right? So the hope is that this could be a start of a virtuous cycle with more listings and more investor interest, partly aided by the equity markets review group. The IPO pipeline is the strongest that we've seen in years, right? So about 30 companies are already engaging with advisors, 1/3 of which are already engaging with the regulatory arm of SGX. We've had some recent examples. We've had the NTT DC REIT. That's the largest REIT listing that we've had in 10 years. Theme of digital infrastructure and AI demand there. We had Infotech Systems. That's a SaaS software as a service company listing from a technology new economy sector. With regards to the new listings that we're seeing, new potential listings that we're seeing, it really is varied across the board, right? Not from one particular sector. It's both main board and catalyst. It's both new listings, secondary listings, and actually even relistings. And from a sectoral range, it ranges from AI to consumer tech to logistics. So I would say that the Singapore ecosystem is strong in supporting high growth new economy companies, and the stock market valuations on the SGX are competitive.
Okay, you mentioned about digital technology and AI. So what are the latest developments and future plans of SGX in terms of the application of emerging technologies such as cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and blockchain, and how to improve market efficiency, reduce costs, and enhance resilience through technology?
Yeah. So in SGX, we take a very pragmatic stance towards AI, right? We do use AI, and that spans across regulatory surveillance, operational efficiency, customer engagement, and data analytics, right? So if you look at our OTC FX business as an example, we do offer AI-driven insights for our FX clients, and that is very well utilized. From a technology perspective, we always are looking to invest. We are investing in long-term scalability and resilience of our tech systems and our infrastructure. So that includes modernizing and upgrading our trading and clearing systems in order to stay leading edge, right? I believe that you're only as good as your last trade, so you need to continue to invest in that. From a data center perspective, we are upgrading to a next generation hyperscale data center. Really, the aim is to increase resilience and also more sustainable, right? From a green sustainable perspective. The whole idea is really we need to stay leading edge. We want to continue to reduce latency and really make it more cloud and AI ready. It's about future-proofing our business, Louis.
Okay. Back to business opportunities. How do you view the opportunities brought by the continued opening of China's capital market? What strategies does SGX have in deepening connectivity with China, such as the ETF connectivity, and also attracting Chinese-related assets to be listed and traded on the SGX, and also how to serve Chinese companies operating in Southeast Asia better?
Yeah, so I would say that Singapore is a trusted international hub for companies and investors. And then within that, SGX is a trusted exchange in the global exchange ecosystem. So from a connectivity perspective, SGX connects Asia to the world and the world to Asia, right? For Chinese issuers, we are the most international multi-asset exchange and fundraising platform in Asia. So, and we do have the benefit of neutrality and high governance standards. So that's a starting point, right? We also already have a strong China offering. We are a one-stop shop now for the what we call our China suite across equity derivatives. We have the FTSE China A50. We have foreign exchange, the offshore renminbi FX listed derivative. And from a commodities perspective, we have the INR product. So we already have the full suite of that China product, right? But we're looking to continue, right? We have a strategic partnership with the Shenzhen and Shanghai stock exchanges. So that's the ETF product links that give global investors access to China markets and vice versa. So this is invaluable for issuers if they want to gain investors beyond the domestic shores. As it stands, I think we have 10 ETFs under these China ETF links. Lastly, from a bond markets perspective, we are keen to play an active role in the internationalization of Chinese bond markets. We do have a strategic agreement with NAFMI to promote the listing of Panda bonds on SGX, and we've had some success there. I think we expect to see more of that this year, Louis.
Yeah, with such a wide range of and diversified products, I think to foreign investors it will be very attractive. So, what efforts has this SGX made to further enhance the awareness and interest of foreign investors, particularly Chinese investors, in SGX listed products? And how can Philip, we offers Singapore stock broking service in Hong Kong, coordinate and contribute to the SGX?
Yeah. So look, we're always trying to improve across issuers, investors, and channels. So we are very focused on research and education and outreach between investors and issuers, right? Philip can play a big role, right? You have a broad range of investors, right? I mean, you're a very big partner of ours. You can help tell the Singapore story, make it better understood. Take a fresh look at the SGX stock market as a form of diversification. Sing dollar assets are doing well, and the SGX stock exchange valuations are competitive, right? And if your investors are not so sure what to do, I mean, we have the ETF, we have a lot of ETFs out there, right? Low cost, liquid, diversified, right? Daily turnover has gone up almost 44% year on year, and the retail has been the largest proportion of that increase. So you can go into equity ETFs, so that's the STI ETF for one, or you can go into gold ETFs, or there's also a sustainability linked ETF, right? I think one product that's also very popular is the REITs. Singapore is very strong in REITs. We have around 40 REITs that are very loved by both retail and institutional investors. Again, if you can't decide on which REIT, we have 5 REIT ETFs that are easy for retail and institutional investors to invest into.
Okay, so Philip, Hong Kong will definitely do more to investor education about the products offered by SGX and also the prospect of SGX. So today, thank you for your time, Daniel. We are very happy to be able to hear about your sharing, your valuable sharing of the SGX plans, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Maybe when you release your 2 to 6 financial years results.
It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you very much, Louis.